Hello everyone, it's your boy Vixxterity XD, and welcome to my first ever tier list video. So today, I'm going to be ranking all the maps in Backstretch Battles Remastered on this tier list. Now, while all the tracks have the same theme, straight dash to the finish line, everyone knows that, each of the 13 maps in Backstretch Battles Remastered have their own special features and qualities, and some even have their own racing style. So, now it's time to see what maps are hot and what maps are not. Let's get started. Okay, so the first track in our tier list today will be the ramps track. Now, the ramps track is pretty self-explanatory. It's a track with ramps, it provides some great racing, big air, and big flips. As a matter of fact, ramps are the perfect catalyst for making big flips. And even has this cool little tabletop jump that can get people piled up, spun all over the place. It's a really fun track with a lot of cool qualities. Now, just to let you know, I'm doing this in random order, so we're going to place the ramp tracks at a solid A tier to start us off. Okay, so the next track on this tier list will be Candy Cane Lane. Now, it's a special kind of track, because unlike usual tracks, it doesn't just go straight. It splits into multiple paths, and has a kind of like curve-shaped path. It has a couple tunnels, it has jumps, it is an absolutely spectacular track. The scenery in this track is beautiful, and during the holiday season, it was absolutely fantastic because there was candy canes everywhere, holiday themed. It was awesome. But this is actually good too. This track is amazing in every way. The racing's awesome, the track is awesome. I gotta do it, folks. Candy Cane Lane goes into S tier. So the third track on this tier list is Daytona. It directly resembles Daytona International Speedway. It's got the racing section here, pretty wide, the double yellow line, and it even has a grass area that slows you down. This can really shake up the competition and make things interesting. And combine that with the wide surface, and you have a track that's pretty suitable for good racing. The only thing about Daytona is that there's really not much scenery to it, but it does have good racing. So we're going to put Daytona at a B tier. Okay, so the next track on this tier list is the Halfpipe. Now, the Halfpipe is a fun, wild track where you can ride the wall sideways, do flips like Tony Hawk, and have a great time racing overall. Now, this track does have a couple of flaws, like the fact that if you flip over, you could get stuck on the little ridge right over here. That can be a little frustrating. Just like Daytona, there is a lack of scenery, but overall, it's a pretty decent track, so we're going to put it at B tier, just like Daytona. Okay, so the fifth track of this tier list is going to be Saltwater Speedway. Now, it starts off as a little pier going into an underwater tube that goes under the ocean, apparently. Now, this is a really cool track. The scenery is awesome, the racing is awesome, and it's just like Halfpipe, which is actually pretty cool. It just looks like a really fun track that can produce really great racing as you can ride the wall like this. It's just really fun. Let's be real here. Another good track. That's going on A tier. Alright, the next track on this tier list is Phoenix. Now, this resembles Phoenix International Raceway, of course. It's got the lanes, it's got the wall there, and the scenery is magnificent. It's got the desert, and it even has the grandstands, just like in the racetrack. Another cool aspect of Phoenix is the track length. Now, most races on Backstretch Battles last for about 5 minutes, but here in Phoenix, it's shorter. It's about 3 minutes long, and the shorter racing can make for some fast-paced action, which means everyone has to work faster. This fast-paced racing can be pretty fun. This is yet another good track. Phoenix is going to A tier. Okay, so our next track on this tier list is Auto Club. Now, this resembles Auto Club, obviously. It's got the blue walls and the multiple lanes, and it also has this zone. We used to call it the Bouncy Bouncy when back in 2020, but they added it back. But unfortunately, when you go into the zone, it is so bouncy, you can't even drive off of it. This can ruin the racing for a lot of people, and it can be a very frustrating experience. Plus, there's not much of a scenery here, just like Daytona. If everybody stays on the surface, it can be a good racing, just like all other tracks in the game. But unfortunately, Auto Club is going to be put in C tier for that. Okay, so our next track on this list is Backstretch Beach. Now, Backstretch Beach is a coastline themed track with a nice little road, nice little residential area with tennis courts, basketball courts, and a very nice beach area with some lighthouses here and there. The scenery overall is absolutely magnificent, and the track, it doesn't really have that many features on the racing surface, but it's still a pretty good track. Plus, it looks so much better in the daytime than it does at nighttime, because that's just how it is along the coastline. This is yet another good track. Backstretch Beach is going to A tier. Okay, so our next track on this tier list is the Lady in Black Darlington. Now for the most part, Darlington looks like a basic Backstretch Battles track, but it does have some decent scenery here and there. We got the shrubs over there and the grandstands over there, and just like Phoenix, it's relatively short. The racing is about 2 minutes, about 2.5 minutes, about half the time of the usual track. So, like Phoenix, it does create some fast-paced racing. It's short, it's pretty basic, but at the same time, it's a fun track. So, B tier. Okay, so now we get to Sonoma Hills. Now, Sonoma Hills is a very unique track in Backstretch Battles because it's so dynamic, it goes up, down, and all around. It is the only track in Backstretch Battles besides Candy Cane Lane to split into 2 paths. And not only does it split into 2 paths, it does some other awesome cool stuff as well. Over here, it splits into 2 paths, but it also has jumps, and it even has an underpass to a freeway. So it's like you're racing in 3 different tracks in one. To show you what I mean, this is the first transition. You have to choose a path. It splits in 2 ways. You can choose the left lane or the right lane. And once you do that, you get into some pretty big jumps, like you've seen right there. After the dirt section, the 2 paths merge into 1. But then there's this other jump. You can either jump over or go through a tunnel. Now that is really interesting. When it's all said and done, it takes you down this huge freeway where you ride it all the way to the end. It gives you so much room to race. The scenery is amazing. There's multiple different sections, ramps, splits. It has everything. Out of all the tracks, this has the most features. If Bohemian Rhapsody was a racetrack, this one would be it. This is absolutely amazing. Sonoma Hills is an awesome track. There's no other place for it to go than S tier. The next map on this tier list is Countryside. Now, Countryside is a farm-themed map with a dirt road, big jumps, and a beautiful farm country-like scenery. It is a really fun track, the ramps are fun, and it's another great track overall. The scenery has everything, the silos, the barns, the fields, it's just really beautiful. Oh, and here's how big the jumps are. Yup. Sounds fun, right? Old McVixie had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Countryside is yet another good track, and for that, we're putting it on A tier. So here's Winter Wonderland, the next track that we're going to be discussing. So Winter Wonderland is centered around a winter village, nice snow-covered trees, nice little wood lodges, and there are a few suspension bridges that go over water. The scenery is very nice. The track itself, it's basic, doesn't have any jumps or ramps or anything. But the scenery has wonderful mountains and it just looks really nice in general. So here is the suspension bridge I was talking about. Get a nice little look at it. Looks very good. So yeah, another good track. Winter Wonderland's gonna go to A tier. And now the last track for the tier list, Talladega. Now, this looks a lot like Daytona. As a matter of fact, Talladega is almost identical to Daytona in Backstretch Battles Remastered. It has the double yellow line, the wide racing surface, and the slowdown zone that slows you down. So there's really not much to say other than it's very much like Daytona. Due to its similarities to Daytona, we're just going to place it on B tier. And that is it, folks. This is your Backstretch Battles Remastered track maps tier list. If you want to see more tier list videos like this, please leave a comment down below. And if you like this video, please make sure to subscribe and hit the notifications bell. Anyways, we'll see you in the next time. Goodbye.